Hello friends, welcome to all in this video lecture. I am Miss Vidya Kaleva. Today we are going to learn new chapter or second chapter, that is organizing and staffing. In this chapter, first point is nature and purpose of organizing. In this point we will see first nature of organizing. Nature of organizing. First one is it has common objective, means every organization has some goals or objective. The organization structure is formed to achieve this goal effectively. That is, this organization has common objective. Second characteristics or nature of organizing is people. Means people is the important element of organizing. Means while grouping tasks and assigning tasks, habit and nature of people should be understood. Then third characteristics of organization is proper authority structure. Means the organization structure consists of authority structure. There is arrangement of position into a grade service. The authority of every position is defined. Then fourth characteristics is division of labor or work. Means total work of organization is divided into functions and sub-functions, and this is necessary to avoid wastage of time, energy and resources due to changing of people from one work to another work. Then next one is communication channel. Communication channel is very important in organization, means it is very important characteristics of organizing. Every organization structure defines upward, downward, vertical and lateral channels of communication. Such a structure enables to understand whom to contact and how. Means proper channel of communication help in getting cooperation from individual. Then next characteristics is cooperation. Then cooperation is basic function of organization, means it is basic characteristics of organization. Then rules and regulation. Next characteristics is rules and regulation. Means every organization has its own rules and regulation for smooth functioning. Means rules and regulation can be written or implemented from workers' behavior. And last characteristics is external environment. Means every organization work in an external environment consisting of ecological, legal, political, social factors like this. Therefore, organizational structure must be designed to function smoothly in external environment. These are the characteristics of organizing. Then next one is purpose of organizing. Means why this organizing is required. Means which help to achieve organizational goal. And how this achieve organizational goal, means organization is employed to achieve the overall objective of business firm. Means organization focuses attention of individual objective toward overall objective. Then second purpose is optimum use of resource. Means due to this organization, optimum use of resource such as man, material, money, machine and method, and it is necessary to design an organization properly. Means this organization or this work is divided and this work is giving right persons. Means giving right job to the right person. This is very important, and that is this one is the purpose of organizing. Then third one is to perform organizational to perform managerial function. Means planning, organizing, staffing, directing, controlling cannot be implemented without proper organizing. That is also purpose of organizing. Then third one is last one is human treatment of employee, and this is also purpose of organizing. Organization has to operate for the betterment of employee and must not encourage monotony of work due to higher degree of specialization. That is also purpose of organizing, means human treatment of employee. Then next one is organizational structure. Organization structure means need and significance. That is advantages of organizational structure. Means in this organizational structure, first point is advantages of organization structure, means which helps administration. Means properly designed organization help both management and organization. Therefore it which helps in administration. Then second one is encourages efficiency. Means organizational member try to maximize the output of goods or service from given input resource, and therefore which increases, means which encourages the efficiency. Then next one is optimum use of technical improvement. Means sound organizational structure help in optimum use of human efforts and technology through specialization. The high cost of installation, operation and maintenance of expensive equipment need proper organization. Therefore optimum use of technical improvement organization is required. That is advantages of that organizing. Then which encourages use of human resource. That is also advantages of this organizing. Then facilitate growth. Facilitate growth means the organization structure is a framework within which an enterprise grows. Then sound organization structure enables optimum utilization of resource, which result in achievement of objective effectively. That is also advantages of organizing. Then next one is stimulates creativity. And stimulates creativity means in this organization organizing giving right job to the right person, therefore which stimulate the creativity. That is also advantages of organizing. Then next one is organizational chart, means organization flow chart. In this organization flow chart, stakeholder is the first member, then second one is board of director, then next one is managing director, and after this managing director there are number of manager, means production manager, material manager, finance manager, marketing manager, personal manager, like this. Means each and every manager has under this manager number of plants, means plant first, plant second, and this plant first, under this plant first there are foreman first, and under this second plant foreman 2 and foreman 3 is there, and under this foreman 3 there are number of workers. This one is the organizational chart. Means first, means at topmost level there are shareholders, after this board of directors, after that managing director, and after that managing director there are number of manager, and under this manager there are different number of plant. Each and every manager there are number of plants, and under this plant there are number of foremans, and under this foremans there are number of workers. This is the flow chart of organization structure. Then next point is span and levels. span and levels, it is also called as span of control. Means, and first we will see what is meaning of span of control means and its importance. The term span of management is also referred as to span of management. It is also called as span of control, span of supervision, or span of authority, and span of responsibility. Means this span of management is also called as span of control, span of supervision, span of authority, and span of responsibility. Means this indicate the number of subordinates who report directly to the manager. That is nothing but the span of that manager. Means number of subordinate. This number of subordinate who directly report to a manager. That is span of that manager. Or span of control indicates number of subordinates a manager can supervise effectively. Means number of subordinate a manager can supervise effectively. That is nothing but span of control. This is also span of control. Then actual definition of span of control is this. Actual definition of this span of control is means span of control limits to the number of persons a manager can supervise effectively, and which varies depending on the situation and types of organization. That is span of control. In other words, the organization level exists because there is limit to the number of persons a manager can supervise effectively. This is also span of control or span of supervision or span of authority. Means number of persons a manager can supervise effectively. That is nothing but span of control. Then the next point is reason for deciding an appropriate span of control in organization. First one is there are two possible reasons. First one is this affect the effective utilization of manager and the effective performance of their subordinates. Means when the span of control is too wide, managers are overstrained themselves and also their subordinates are receiving very little guidance from their manager. Means this also means manager have very little control on their subordinate. Means if span of control is too wide, means this span of control is too wide, then manager are overstrained. Means on that manager there are number of works. Means these manager are overstrained themselves and their subordinate are receiving very little guidance from their manager. Then second one is, and when narrow span is there, means, and second reason of deciding this span of control is there is relationship between span of control and organizational structure. Means a narrow span of control result in a tall organization with many levels of supervision between top level management and lowest level management. Means in narrow span level there is a relationship between top level management and lower level lowest organizational level, means workers. This create inefficient communication problem. Means in this narrow span there is which creates inefficient communication problem and also increases the financial burden on the organization. There is also burden of financial suitable experienced person at different level. Means in this narrow span, means in this management or in this organization, number of peoples are required. Means for this number of people's financial burden takes place on organization. And also second problem is burden of finding suitable experienced person at different level. This is also disadvantages of this narrow span. On the other hand, a wide span of control for the same number of employees means a flat organizing with fewer management levels between top and bottom levels. This wide span is called as flat organization, and this wide span is called as tall management or tall span of management. Means is in this wide organization or wide span, there is fewer management levels between top and bottom levels, but in this narrow span there are different levels between top and bottom levels. Means in this narrow span there is requirement of number of peoples, experienced people at different levels. Then relationship between span of control and organizational level. This one is the narrow span. Narrow span is also called as tall span, and this one is the wide span. Wide span is called as flat span. In this narrow span, in this means higher level president is there, then there are different vice president, mean then in this second position there are vice president. After this vice president there are manager, and after that manager there are assistant manager, and after this supervisor, and after this section heads are there in this narrow span. But in this wide span, on higher position there are president, and after this president there are number of managers, and after that number of manager there are direct section head and supervisor heads. Means in that narrow span there are number of levels between top level and bottom level. Therefore there is communication problem, insufficient communication problem is take place in narrow span. But in this wide span there are in this narrow wide span there are no distance between top level and bottom levels. Therefore sufficient communication is take place, and also there are means in this wide span there is not required number of persons like this narrow span. This is also advantages of this wide span. Then from this figure, means this figure we show that the relationship between span of control and organization levels. A wide span of control is associated with few organization levels, and narrow span of contains many levels. Means this narrow span contains many level, but wide contains low levels, means less levels between top level and bottom level. Then advantages and disadvantages of narrow and wide span of control. Then that is the next point. First one is advantages of organization with narrow span. First advantages is manager have close supervision on their subordinates. Therefore, close and effective control on them take place. Means this assistant manager have close relationship between these workers. Therefore, sufficient control on these workers take place. The next advantages is there is clear cut fast communication between subordinate and their superiors, and therefore communication is not diluted. That is also advantages of narrow span. Means there is clear cut communication between manager and supervisor is take place. Therefore, no dilution of communication is take place in this narrow span. Then disadvantages of this narrow organization span. There is a delay in decision making take place due to the higher levels of organizing, higher level of management. Then second disadvantages is there are many levels of management. Means between top level and bottom level there are many levels of management. Then third one is financial burden of organization increases due to the high cost because of many levels in organization. That is also disadvantages. Means financial burden due to the higher means many levels in organization. Then fourth disadvantages is there is an excessive distance between lowest level and top level. That is also disadvantages of narrow span. Then disadvantages of organization with wide span. Advantages of wide span. First one is superiors are forced to delegate authority and responsibility to their subordinates. Then second advantages is organization makes clear policy. Then third advantages is subordinates are very carefully selected. Then next one is most efficient due to the fewer levels. Means it is it is cost effective. Means due to this fewer levels. Then last one is decision making is faster. These are the advantages of wide span. Means due to this wide span clear policies. Means due to this wide span this wide span makes clear policy. Then next advantages is subordinate are very carefully selected in this wide span. Cost effective due to the fewer levels. Means in this span there are less number of people are required there due to fewer levels in this span, and decision making is faster due to the fewer level in this span. Then disadvantages. It increases work of superiors. There is a greater pressure on manager and heavy penalty for failure. That this is the first disadvantages of organization. Wide span organization. Second disadvantages is there is a tendency of superiors loss of control on his subordinate. And third one is this require manager with superiors and exponential exceptional qualities. These are the disadvantages of widespan organization. Then deciding on the span means in every organization it must be decided how many subordinate a manager can manage effectively and efficiently. That is also span of control means, and how this span of control is decided means the span of control means how many subordinate or superiors can manage effectively and efficiently. And therefore, according to the research, the number is usually about 4 to 8 subordinate at the upper level and 8 to 15 or more at the lower level. This is from according to the research. Means at top level there are 4 to 8 subordinate, and at bottom levels or at lower level 8 to 15 or more. Then last point is factor determining an effective span. First one is subordinate training. If these subordinates are properly trained, then this span of control is wide span of control. Means for these trained subordinates, less supervision is required. Therefore, in this place, wide span is also useful. Then second point is type of technology. Type of technology means if farms using mass production and assembly line technology can have wider span than those employing batch or process production system. Means for mass production we can use wider span. Means for mass production technology, means mass production and assembly line technology, we can use wide span organization or wide span management. Then third factor is clear dedication of authority. Clear dedication of authority means task of individual should be clearly defined along with proper authority to accomplish task. Then means if task of individual is not clearly defined, he requires guidance of his superior to clearly clarify his task. If responsibility is not along with proper authority, subordinate take guidance of his superior for small decision also, and this result in superior engaged in subordinate work which does not give him time for managerial work. Therefore, clearly dedication of authority is required for effective span or for efficient utilization of resources. Then next one is clarity of plans. Means management must define plan clarity. Means clearly defined plan must be there. If plans are not clearly defined, subordinate require manager guidance or help. If plans are clear, span must be narrow. Therefore, management must define plan and policy clearly. If these plans are clearly defined, then subordinate does not require the superior's guidance. Therefore, these superiors or this manager available his means this manager get his time for his managerial works. Therefore, clarity of plans, this is also factor determining an effective span. Then next one is use of objective standard, means manager must find out through either personal observation or through objective standard whether subordinates are working according to plan. Good objective standard reveals deviation of subordinate in execution of plans. This enables manager to avoid time-consuming contact and direct attention to objective for success of plan. That it means objective standard. If these objective are standard, then manager does not require the supervision, does not take supervision on the subordinate if objective are standard. Then next one is rate of change. Certain enterprise changes much more rapidly than others. The rate of change is an important determinant of degree to which policy be formulated and stability of policy maintained. The organization in terms of durability and stability can be regarded as most successful in the history and Western civilization. Means if this organization rate of change is rapidly, means there is no stability, then this span of control is narrow span of control if this rate of change is high or rapidly. Then next one is communication technology. Communication technology means the effectiveness of communication techniques are used for influencing the span of management. If every plan, instruction, order or direction has to be communicated by personal contact, it will force manager to spend most of his time with subordinates. Means an ability to communicate plan and instruction clearly also increases manager span, and a manager casual easy style may please subordinates, but if after leaving a supervisor office he is still in doubt about his task, he requires further meeting with supervisor. The next one is amount of personal contact needed. Means face-to-face meeting are very important. Many situations cannot be handled by written reports, document, procedure. An executive may find it suitable to meet subordinate personally. Then next factor is about confidency of manager. Confidency of manager means managerial processing quality like leadership, communication, decision making and control can manage more subordinate. Thus, a confident and well-trained manager can effectively supervise more people than one who is not confident and well-trained. If these managers are confident, then they can handle more people than non-confident manager. Then nature of task. Nature of task means if this task is simple and repetitive, then it required means they does not require frequent guidance. And if this task is difficult and not repeated, then this task require guidance. In this situation, narrow span is required. Means if this task is simple and repetitive, then there is wide we can use wide span. But if this task is difficult and not repetitive, then in this case more guidance is required. Therefore in this case we use narrow span. The next one is attitude and capacity of subordinate. In this factor also, span of control or span is depend, means capacity of subordinate means positive attitude of subordinate, willingness to take risk, and helps manager to dedicate authority. Such subordinate perform their work efficiently. They need less guidance from manager. They only need broad guidance. In such cases, less time to require for manager to guide subordinate and can handle large number of subordinates. But new and unexperienced employee require more guidance and supervision. Therefore, this manager handle limited number of such employee. The next one is staff assistant. Means use of staff assistant like private secretary can reduce workload of manager and he handle more subordinates. This is also factor on effective span. The next one is geographical dispersion. Means when subordinates are dispersed physically at different places, their supervision and control is difficult. In such cases, span of control is smaller. Means geographical dispersion is also factor which affect on span, effective span. Thank you.